Adjustment meeting will please come to order. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in the following ways. Notice published in the Courier News, notice posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, notice made to the clerk, notice sent to the Courier News and the Star Ledger. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Weissman, he's not here yet. Mr. Tillery?
He's there.
Oh, Mr. Weissman's here. You made it.
He's muted.
Hi, Steve. All right, Mr. Weissman, Mr. Tillery, Mr. Patel?
Here.
Mr. Reggio?
Here.
Mr. Blount?
Here.
Mr. Mitterondo? I know Bill's here.
He is.
Yeah, I muted you, Bill. He's here. Mr. Ali?
Here.
And Chairman Cahill.
Here. Will everyone please stand for the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice
for all.
Mr. Keneally, are there any changes to tonight's agenda?
Yes, we have one change to the agenda. NDK Realty on South Washington Avenue will not be heard tonight. It will be carried to August 13th with no further notice by the applicant.
Got it. Thank you so much. Let's proceed to item number 6, 26-ZB-28V. That's Yellow J. Rayo. Miro?
Yes,
Sorry about that. I butchered your name.
that's okay. This is Yellow Rao Mirajkar.
Thank you. I need to swear you in, sir. Could you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth?
true. Yes.
Okay, could you explain to the board why you're here?
Okay, so we are interested in placing a storage shed in our backyard, and there is already existing base, and this is out of zoning expectation, and therefore I am requesting allowing the zoning to have the shed built on the existing platform, which is about 13 plus feet, 164 inches square, and it is about half a foot away from the fence, both in the back as well on the right hand side when you stand in front of the house. And that is the reason why I am here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mizrahi, could you jump in here and see what we can do?
Yes. So this single-family residential home is has an existing nonconformity for lot width and lot frontage. The question I had for you, Mr. Mirajkar, is the shed that you're proposing, is it required to be on a concrete base, or is it all right for it to be on some other sort of foundation?
Gloria, I don't see the audio.
Yes. So
You're
I
on,
think,
John.
sorry, can I respond to that question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the base is already there pretty well, and it is a concrete base. And as you know, anything modifications with the concrete means it has to be completely removed and repaved or something
I
like
don't
that.
see the audio symbol.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, I will try to repeat. Looks like I did not come through with my voice.
Thank you, Mr. Marajko.
Yes, what I was trying to tell is the existing is a concrete base, and especially in a city like Piscataway, where even just a couple of days ago there was a windstorm, and we don't want to take any chance in the future for safety of anybody, including not only our family but also any other family. So it appears prudent from my point of view that why not use the existing base so that you can anchor the storage shed as strong as it is required. And that is the reason why we would like to use the existing platform.
Okay, I understand. I'm not sure if the existing concrete patio being there is enough of a could be considered a hardship for why the shed needs to be located so close to the property line. So that's where I'm at, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Sir, when the concrete platform was originally put down, it's an illegal spot. It's non-conforming. It has to be, Johnson and Mary, it's 10 feet off the property line.
It's a flush concrete pad, so technically there's no zoning requirement for the concrete pad, but once we put the structure on it, that's when the setbacks apply in this situation.
Right. So
He can, in theory, he could keep the concrete pad where it is and expand it, or if the shed needs to be on a concrete foundation, a new one could be poured. That's, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Marajka, you understand what we're saying? You could pour a
heard it.
concrete slab and have it conforming.
Yeah, I understand that one. Wish I knew this particular aspect of the concrete slab as well as the zoning related exemption which is required now. I have my own neighbor's house where I see that the shed, it is so close to the fence. So that is the reason why probably we were not appropriately guided when the concrete slab was placed. So because a lot of things has gone through in this effort, as an exceptional case, if we can approve, that will be a wonderful thing. And I am of the opinion that when we are trying to place the shed and we want to put it in a way that it does not impact any future damages, and at the same time, as I explained earlier, my understanding, if you want to extend the concrete slab, this everything, again, I don't know how it is going to be long term, because two concrete slabs coming together, I don't know how it is going to be. And it may be a little chance from my thinking, and therefore I suggest a request that we could be allowed and exemption could be granted so that we can place the shed in a very stable fashion.
It's difficult to do that because we set precedent at that point. If someone comes back and says, well, we let Mr. Marajkar replace his shed or put a new shed on the old slab, we don't have a foot to stand on in terms of setting a precedent. I feel for your situation. I understand it'd be more convenient to have the slab utilized, but you're coming before us to put a new shed up, and it's got to be in a conforming location. Is that accurate, Jonathan, would you say?
Yes.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, could I ask a question?
Okay.
Yeah. So my house is 161 and my neighbor's is 159. And there, the shed, as I explained, it is not in the conformed zone. So
You have to understand, Mr. Marajkar, that your neighbor isn't before us tonight asking for relief. Your neighbor has an existing shed, and while it's located in a non-conforming spot, if it's existing, we're going to let it stay there. We're not going to make them tear it down and bring it over. But if their shed ever was to suffer any damage, and they came before us to put a new shed up, we'd make them do the same thing that I'm asking you to do, and that's put the concrete slab in a conforming location. I understand it's inconvenient. I can appreciate that, but you don't show a hardship to have the shed built there because you have a pre-existing slab of concrete. That's not a hardship.
I see. So
you want to think it over? We can carry this to another meeting if you'd like. You could meet with Jonathan or call him on the phone, and we could, find a different location for the shed. And it's a big shed too. Most sheds are 10 by 10 that we see on this board. So 13 by 13 is a little bit bigger than normal. And
no, it is
also
not 13.
I'm sorry, again?
No, it's not 13 by 13. I'm sorry. The shed, what we have thought is 12 by 10. It's not 13 by 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong paperwork. It said 13 by 13 on my paperwork. Oh, 13 by 11. My bad.
No, it is 10 by 12, sir. The slab area may be 13 plus feet, but the actual shed that we are planning is 12 feet by 10 feet.
Okay. Again, I don't have a problem with the size of the shed. It's like I said, it is bigger than normal, but that's not the point. The point is where you want to put the shed. It's more convenient for you because you have a slab already there. It's less convenient for the township because you're replacing an object in what was put up illegally the first time.
Mm-hmm. So maybe let me ask this question right now. If we reduce this size instead of 12 feet by 10 feet. If we place 10 feet by 10 feet, would that be okay?
It's in the same location, correct?
Only thing
You want
is,
to put
it
a
will
smaller
come-
shed up in the same location.
the only thing is, instead of putting it in the center of the slab, it will come closer to the further edges, giving as much space as becomes available. If a simple calculation is 13 plus minus 10 is about 5 plus feet will be on one side. Another is 13 plus minus 10. Again,
Jonathan, if it
another
was a
13.
10 foot by 10, a 10 by 12, and he puts it on that slab, how many feet would it be off the property line? Do you know?
Well, our threshold is 100 square feet for when it jumps up to another category. So if he did the 10 by 10, he would be able to have it be closer to the property line without a variance.
Be
Does that
3
make
feet.
Sorry?
10 by 12 is 8 feet
Okay,
setback, and then 100 square feet or less is the 3 feet.
got you. So you'd go with a smaller shed in order to keep it on that slab, Mr. Murata?
Yes, that is, if that is allowed, that will be wonderful.
Okay. Any other members of the board have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'm going to open it to the public. Anyone in the public portion have any comments or questions for this application?
You can either speak by raising your hand, or if you're on the phone, *6. No one, Chairman.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve this application with the smaller shed on the slab. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your,
Well, we have to vote on it yet, sir.
okay, thank you.
No
Mr.
problem.
Weissman,
Yes.
Mr. Tillery,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Reggio,
Yes.
Mr. Blount,
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo,
He's there. Okay.
Mr. Ali,
Yes.
and Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Your application as amended has been approved. We'll memorialize this in a written document at our next meeting. You don't need to be present for that. We'll mail that document to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 7, 26-ZB-30V, new singular wireless.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Christopher Quinn, Quinn, attorney with the firm Pinellas Halpern, here with behalf of the applicant, New Singular Wireless, PCS, LLC, whichever knows as AT&T. This property, it's 300 South Randolphdale Road, block 4503, lot 1.05. AT&T has an existing set of antennas at the top of the monopole on this property. This is another one of those interpretation applications we're doing for modification. I was here on about 4 or 5 of them in the past year or two. I think this is the last one of AT&T's modifications here for this particular type of work they're doing. They are effectively upgrading all their sites around the entire country to help them kind of be able to switch and update and keep moving forward. For this one, what's happening is there's 9 antennas there. They're replacing and repositioning some of the antennas that are on this pole. So effectively it's going from 9 to 6. I'm sorry, from 12 to 9. And nothing will be higher than what's there now. There's some boxes on the back of the antennas called radio heads. They're replacing 12 with 12. And on the ground, there's an existing building. And inside the building, they're taking some of the equipment out and replacing with other stuff within the building. So
I was going to say, Mr. Quinn, we've dealt with a bunch of these over the last couple of years. So I think Mr. Keneally has a series, maybe 4 or 5 questions that he can ask you. And I think we can expedite this and get it, taken care of.
perfect. In fact, that was all we were doing anyway. So the perfect.
It's down
Fair
to
enough.
2 questions because Mr. Quinn already hit 3 of them.
Okay, perfect.
The equipment cabinet's not getting any larger?
Correct. No changes
Uh,
whatsoever.
You're not going any higher?
Correct. No
You're
increase
not
whatsoever.
creating any new variances?
No new variances.
Mr. Chairman, I believe this meets the criteria for an exemption from site plan application.
Gotcha. Understood you. Any other member of the board have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'm going to open it to the public. Anyone in the public portion have any questions or comments for this application?
No one, Chairman.
Make a motion to approve this application, please. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Weissman,
Yes.
Mr. Tillery,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Reggio,
Yes.
Mr. Blount,
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo?
Yes.
There he is. Mr. Ali?
Yes.
And Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Mr. Quinn will memorialize this in a resolution at our next meeting.
Sure. Can I just, do you know the day of the next meeting? When?
Yeah, so August 13th.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
One suggestion, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, John.
The resolution, Jim, should contain, it complies with all prior conditions.
It will contain that provision.
Okay,
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
there was a bunch of them.
Good night, sir. Moving on to item number 8, 26-ZB-23V, Karen Johnson.
Good
Ms.
evening.
Johnson, present. Ms.
I see you, ma'am. I don't hear you.
Good evening.
There she is.
I need to swear you in. Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth?
I do.
Your name and address, please?
Karen Johnson, 519 Pleasant Avenue, Piscataway, New Jersey. This property is 500 Pleasant Avenue.
Thank you. Could you explain to the board why you're here?
Yes, I purchased 500 Pleasant Ave to move in and relocating. And it's very small, very small older house. And I did initially look into expanding, but because it's a corner lot, I didn't have that option. And the garage doesn't meet the specs. And I was planning on expanding, some driveway space. So I'm here to request that I get exemption to allow the garage to be used for living space. So I can have more space, living space.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you. Jonathan, can you elaborate on this?
Yes. So the subject property has a lot of existing nonconformities, everything from lot area, lot coverage, width, setbacks, etc. The current garage is currently 8 feet by 10 feet, I believe. And that does not meet the requirements for an enclosed parking space per code. So the staff's opinion, we feel comfortable with the enclosed parking space being converted to livable area on the condition that additional off-street parking be provided by the applicant, which Ms. Johnson indicated she was interested in doing.
That's okay, Ms. Johnson.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay, great. Any other members of the board have any questions or comments?
Could I ask Mr. Mizrahi to define the off-street parking that would be required?
Yes, thank you. Our requirement would be adequate space for 2 cars to be parked completely within the private property and not in the right-of-way.
You okay with that, ma'am?
I am.
Perfect. Now, does anybody have any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, I'm going to open it to the public. Anyone in the public portion have any questions or comments for this application?
No one, Chairman.
Okay. Close the public portion, and I'd make a motion to approve this application. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Weissman?
Yes.
Mr. Tillery?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Reggio?
Yes.
Mr. Blount?
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ali?
Yes.
And Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, your application's been approved. We'll memorialize this in a written document at our next meeting, and we'll send that document to you.
Thank you. And thank you
Have
so
a good
much
evening,
for your
ma'am.
time. You too. Bye.
Item number 9, 26-ZB-15V. Harold Israel?
Is Mr. Israel present?
Yes, I'm present.
Good evening. You were sworn in at the last hearing. You remain sworn in to tell the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I understand you did meet with the board and Ms. Dawn Cochran as well. You met with Jonathan. And how did that turn out?
We had a great conversation. We had a good time together.
Okay. So are you compromising and going to move the fence into the 9 feet that we mentioned? Or the 4-foot solid?
I'm unable to do that because then you also create a safety issue because based on the space in the back, I think I explained.
We heard your testimony the first time.
Right, correct. I think I explained that, and also, and then moving it, there's a tree in the way, and I think Jonathan also mentioned that, so it creates a lot of difficulties and expenses. So there's not a possibility to actually move it 9 feet or 2 feet or 6 feet.
Oh,
And
all
then
right.
we also spoke about the ordinance of when the fence was installed, which was under the ordinance of, we spoke about the side triangle. The new ordinance was voted on in January 2026, and which is the 12.5, and that's what we're talking about now. But the fence was installed back in 2020, which that ordinance, it was just about the side triangle, which I think I explained to when I met with Jonathan. We spoke about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you have anything to add?
Yeah. So if the fence needs to stay where it is, we could offer keeping the fence where it is and swapping it out for a 4-foot height, keeping completely solid, and we could even leave it right on the property line where the existing fence is now.
And that's something you can't do, Harold.
I mean, I like that idea, but the only problem is the height, because I'm trying to prevent anybody from getting inside the house, and then because of the in-ground pool, it also create a safety issue. So the only thing is, if it goes 4 feet, if I can add the 2 feet open on top, which is 50%, I could add the 50%, keep it at 6 feet, but add the 2 feet on top of the 4 feet to make it 6 feet with where the 2 feet would be open space, 50% open, if that's okay.
We still count that as a 6-foot fence, even with the lattice portion on top. We've had applications like that in the past, so that's still considered a 6-foot fence if it's 4 solid and 2 with the lattice.
Right, because when you look at the fence, like we discussed last time, the fence is used as a side fence. It's not a front yard fence. Only the front yard fence has to be back by 25 feet or 12.5. So this is a side. We're talking about the side feet. The side could be up to 6 because the front yard is the street that's facing the front of the house, and it's facing Hard Place, not Richards Island. And
right. I was
we went over that too.
Yeah, because it's the frontage on Richards, so we consider that a front yard, even though it's in use as what we can say is being used as a side yard, but it's considered a front yard.
No, I'm saying
I'm
talking about based on the prior ordinance when I installed it back in 2020.
Yeah, the ordinance change in January 2026 was concerning front yard setbacks. It didn't speak to side triangles.
Correct, it didn't, and that's what I'm saying. But when I installed the fence was back in 2020. The only thing that was back 1975 when the ordinance was put in place. The only thing the only requirement was for you to be within the side triangle because you don't like any view from vehicles from seeing each other. So that I'm so far in, and I didn't violate that ordinance when I installed the fence back in 2020. So back in 2026, the rule was changed after I was given a letter, and then you guys voted to change the rules to 12.5. But the 25 feet had nothing to do with fencing. As a matter of fact, I have the documentation in front of me right now. So I don't know if anybody else has that information.
Are you referring to the township code?
Yes, I'm referring to the township code. I can, if you want, I can reference. I'll give you the code number and everything too, like that.
Well, I think the offer is going to stay at 4 feet solid on the property line, or you move it in 10 feet. That's what we're suggesting. Those are the two options.
Right.
We can do 9 feet from the property line with the 6-foot solid.
Yeah. Say that again. Jonathan, I didn't hear.
Either 6-foot height, 100% solid fence, 9 feet from the property line along Richards Ave, or a 4-foot high, 100% solid fence, 0-foot setback on the property line with Richards Ave.
I can't do 4 feet, but I can do this. I could do the 4 feet. I can't do the 4 feet, but I would request at least a year for me to raise some money so I could do that work because I don't have any money. It's a financial situation for me and also a safety issue. That's why it's at 6 feet. I drive around and multiple houses. I'll have exactly what I'm talking about. I will have the opens 2 feet on top of the forfeit. I will do that sacrifice, and I could request financial time for me to raise that money, for me to be able to do it. But at the end of the day, everybody in the neighborhood, everywhere I drive to, every corner houses, they have the exact same thing. They have forfeit with 2 feet open space on top. If everyone is going to run under the same rule, then that's going to be a fair thing. But what I'm requesting and asking for, if I can still have my 6 feet, because I need the 6 feet for the safetiness. It took me 17 years before I put up this fence because I couldn't afford a fence around my house. 17 years it took me. So what I'm saying is it took me 17 years because of safety. Because 2020, nobody knew what was going to happen, and I make a sacrifice to put a fence on my house to make sure my family is safe. I had an in-ground pool put in, make sure I keep animals out, I keep little kids out to make sure nobody goes inside the pool. 4 feet doesn't provide that type of security.
So 48 inches is the requirement for a pool code fence in New Jersey. So we have an option for a 4-foot fence, which meets pool code requirements, as well as an option for a 6-foot fence. If you have an interest in either one of these options, we can move forward with one of them tonight.
Say that again. I didn't hear you. You said what is required in New Jersey?
4 feet is the minimum height for a pool code fence, pool compliant fence.
Right. So you're saying it's a minimum height. So what is the maximum?
The maximum would be dictated by well, there's no maximum for a safety standard.
There is no maximum.
With all due respect, I would like to review the information that you're providing right now because I didn't have a chance to look at that because I don't know what you're talking. I can't talk about that.
All right, those are the options that we have at this point.
Chairman, if the board wants to move forward on this, the applicant has the burden of proof to provide planning testimony to support the variance that's requested. There is no planning testimony that's been provided that constitutes evidence to support a variance in this application. The financial expense to the applicant is not a basis for a variance. So if the board moves forward on this tonight, as the board attorney, I would have to recommend that the board deny this application.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Any other members of the board have any questions or comments?
And I will request to contact a lawyer. I will request time to contact a lawyer, and then because I don't know the laws and the rules, you guys are all professionals, so I will request time to get a lawyer to represent me.
And no questions from the board? Open it to the public. Anyone in the public have any comments or questions?
No one, Chairman.
Okay, close the public portion, and I'd make a motion to deny this application. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Weissman?
What do you-
A vote yes is to deny.
I vote yes for Mr. Cahill's proposal.
For the denial. Yes, it's a motion to deny, so it's yes on the motion.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yes on the
Tillery?
motion.
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Reggio?
Yes.
Mr. Blount?
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ali?
Yes.
And Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Mr. Israel, your application has been denied. We will memorialize this in a written document at our next meeting, and we'll send that document to you.
So I would like to be informed of the next step because I did request before the vote to have a lawyer to represent me, and I was denied that.
The next step is for you to receive the resolution. The resolution will be passed in August, on August 13th. It'll take a day or two to mail that to you. I certainly encourage you to take that resolution and meet with an attorney to see what alternatives you have.
Right, but I did request before the vote to have a lawyer to represent me.
Mr. Israel, when you
And
file
I was
the
denied. I
application,
was denied representation.
when you file an application, the board has to grant or deny it within a certain period of time.
I do understand
That
that,
period
but
of time
but-
expires on August 10th. Prior.
I was not told when it was going to expire. I was not provided that information, and I did request for representation before you guys voted, and I was
We'll
denied
mail you the
representation.
resolution.
Okay. That's our finding, sir.
Have a good night, everyone.
I'll say, have a good evening. Let's move on to item number 10, 26-ZB-34V, Dream House, New Jersey, LLC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Evan Pickus. I'm an attorney from Spotswood, New Jersey, on behalf of the applicant, Dream Homes, New Jersey, LLC. This is an application that we're putting forward to get a variance to permit the construction of a single-family home on block 1502, lot 29, which is 9 Woodrow Avenue, located in the R 7.5 zone. To put all that into English, there's a vacant lot located at 9 Woodrow Avenue. The proposed construction is for a single-family home on a lot that requires 7,500 square feet. This lot is 7,499 square feet. So we're short 1 square foot. So we need a variance to get permission to construct a home. I do have witnesses with me tonight. Who testifies and how much testimony they give is certainly at the board's discretion. I would start with our engineer, who's Bill Scott, PE, from Ensure Plan. And if you would be kind enough to swear him in, he can explain briefly the plan and the requirements to you.
Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Your name and address, please.
William Scott, SCOTT, 146 Old Somerville Road, Bedminster, New Jersey.
Okay, and before you begin your testimony, Mr. Pickus, have you had an opportunity to review the staff report in this matter?
I have, and I've had the opportunity to discuss it with both my client and Mr. Scott.
And do you want to address it individually, or can you agree to it?
Well, I think we would certainly agree to comply with all requirements that would be necessary to get a building permit. There are the one requirement with regard to the soil borings. We will certainly do it if it's necessary. I know Mr. Scott wanted to have a conversation with the engineer at some point as to whether the water flow studies that we've already done would be sufficient. But if not, we certainly agree.
In the interest of expediting this, Jonathan, did you want to address some of the side effects?
If the applicant agrees to comply with the site report, staff report rather, I think the board could move forward with a vote this evening, and Mr. Scott could confer with Joe Herrera about those reports that have been previously done, whether that'll satisfy what Joe's looking for, and the revised plans. If this application is viewed favorably, the revised plans could be addressed at the next stage of the process.
So we could include a condition that if those plans that Mr. Scott discusses with the township engineer satisfy him, that requirement could be waived?
Yes, that was specific for the seasonal high water table. Correct, Mr. Scott?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Well, Jim, is there any mandatory testimony we need to put on the record, or can we take a vote?
This is a de minimis variance. 7,500 square feet is required. They have 7,499. They're
Right.
missing 1 foot.
Let's vote on this now. That's silliness.
Open
All right.
to the public.
Any other members of the board have any questions or comments? Hearing none, we're going to open it to the public. Anyone in the public have any questions or comments?
No one, Chairman.
Close the public portion. Make a motion to approve this application.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Weissman,
Yes.
Mr. Tillery,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Reggio,
Yes.
Mr. Blount,
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo,
Yes.
Mr. Ali,
Yes.
and Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Mr. Pickus will memorialize this in August and send a copy to you.
Mr. Kennelly, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time tonight.
Have a great evening.
Have a good night.
Mr. Keneally, good to see you.
Nice job, Mr. Wagon.
Thank you, as always.
Jim's got a fan club. Item number 12, adoption of resolutions from the regular meeting of June 25th, 2026.
First resolution is Stacy Lombardi, which you voted to approve. Mr. Weissman,
Yes.
Mr. Tillery,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Oreggio,
Yes.
Mr. Blunt,
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo,
Yes.
Mr. Ali,
Yes.
Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Next is Stephen Gonzalez, which you voted to approve. Mr. Weissman,
Yes.
Mr. Tillery,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Oreggio,
Yes.
Mr. Blunt,
Yes.
Mr. Mitterondo,
Yes.
Mr. Ali,
Yes.
Chairman Cahill.
Yes.
Those are all the resolutions I have this evening.
Good. Item number 13, adoption minutes from the regular meeting of June 25th, 2026. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 14, adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Once again, thank you for giving us your volunteer and see you in August.
And thank you, everybody, for
Thank you.
showing up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone.